Okay, so a couple disclaimers before I start this video. There's a thunderstorm going on right now, so you might hear some thunder, some rain. You maybe hear my dog barking because she's scared, so just a heads up. But yeah, today I want to talk about my relationship with gaming and why I had to stop for a few years. I don't know exactly how many years it was, maybe like 4 or 5 years, but yeah, I had to stop. And before I go into why I had to stop, I'm gonna say how it began, how I started gaming and stuff. So I don't have the best memory from the early days of starting the game, but the first thing I remember was when I was like a really small kid. My parents got the little gun with where you shoot the ducks on TV. That's the first thing I remember. And then from then, we got like all the consoles, the PlayStation console. So I got the PlayStation 1, and I don't remember much from that one, unfortunately. I don't know what I played on there. But then I got the PS2, and I remember I was like really young in school, and I hated school, so I didn't study, and my grades were bad, so I like didn't. All the kids, if they got a console or a computer, they would like have really good grades. So their parents were like, "Hey, if you have good grades, I'm gonna buy this to you." And I couldn't, like, my grades were shit, and I buying a console didn't motivate me enough to get better grades, unfortunately. Yeah. Not to brag, but you're gonna find out that I'm a fucking idiot throughout future videos. But yeah, so the PS2, I remember like playing games with my friends, and I remember playing like Medal of Honor with my dad. That was like a fun thing. And we used to play like me and my friends used to play Dragon Ball Z. Like I think it was Budokai Tenkaichi, something like that. And that shit was super fun. Like my friends would come over, we would play, and then we would go outside pretending like to shoot Kamehameha blasts and stuff, which was really fun. But yeah, after the PS2, I don't remember too much. But yeah, I know there was cars and stuff. We would uh, we would race and stuff like that. And then the PS3. I remember I was my grades were really bad by the time the PS3 came out, and I really couldn't get my parents to buy it for me, and I wasn't old enough to get a job yet. And um, so I that's when my YouTube usage started going up. I watched everything on YouTube. All the games that I couldn't play, I watched every single one on YouTube. I used to love watching playthroughs of games. Like I remember watching man, The Last of Us. That was like one of the biggest ones. I would come in the summer. I live in Croatia on the sea, so in the summer when that game was out, I go to the beach, go for a swim, and then come back home and watch. I think it was Chris Move. I might be lying, but I think it was him who played that game, and I watched that. Man, I was glued to the phone watching that. Yeah, of course, I watched YouTube on the phone, by the way. Um, so yeah, and then I remember one of my best friends got the PS3, and then I would be like at his place all the time. I would watch him play. He would give me the joystick to play some games stuff as well. But I mean, I remember that time even watching was super fun. I would watch him play Assassin's Creed. He would play Ezio and stuff. That was fun. And then Black Ops 2 came out. And I remember playing that like on the that was the first like card game we played on the PS or the PlayStation, and that was pretty fun. Up until that point, we would play like older cards. Like Card 2 was really popular here in the Balkans. Like everyone, you'd go to like a computer cafe, you would sit down with a bunch of your friends and you'd play Card 2 and yell at each other, and that was like peak socializing experience. That was super fun. But yeah, and I remember I remember I'd used to like after school, I'd come home and then he'd call my landline. He'd be like, "Hey, is certain there? I want to talk to him. Is he free? Blah blah blah." My mom would give me my phone, and then I go, "Oh, I'm free. I can come right now." I was just waiting for the call to go play Black Ops 2, man. Those were the days. But yeah. And then after a while, I remember I got the PS3 too. I don't remember how I got it. I think I worked or sold some stuff. I have no idea, but I got it, and then I played all the games. And man, the games on the PS3 that were amazing. And then by the time the PS4 came out, I was old enough. I had a steady summer job. I bought it myself and played all the games. And then after a while, I wanted to switch to PC gaming because like a good computer in my mind that was like the peak gaming experience. And yeah, I remember I got like a manual labor job when I was I don't remember how old I was even, but at the time I got a manual labor job. I used to build like seating for audiences for a festival where I live, and as soon as I got enough money, I quit that fucking job, and I bought the PC, and then I started playing at home, and I enjoyed it, but after a while, like the games were, I don't know, it got repetitive. It was the time where microtransactions and stuff started. Taking over of games. Microtransactions, I remember like by the time I think when I saw this is gonna sound bad, but it's true. So by the time I saw like amputee lady in Battlefield, I was like, oh man, I'm tired of games right now. And also at this time, I realized like I was maybe like totally 100%, 110% socially anxious, and I was the problem was getting worse, and I was like avoiding it by just staying at home and playing games. And since like the AAA games that weren't hitting anymore, I started playing more and more strategy games. I love the Total War games like Anno, and then I found. Oh, I loved playing Stronghold. That's an amazing game. Um, and then I found Hearts of Iron 4, and that was it. Like after I found Hearts of Iron 4, that's all I was playing all day, every day. That shit was like crack cocaine to me. I love that game. I still love it. I haven't played it in like maybe 5 years, but damn, I remember when I started playing, it took me like no time whatsoever to get like 900 hours in that game. Um, but yeah, then in the meantime, I figured out, okay, my social anxiety is getting really, really bad. And maybe playing games from the morning when I wake up to late at night is not the move anymore. Like I need to grow up. So this was probably uh, this was university, like I guess American call it college, but yeah. Um, and then at this time, I remember specifically, like I stepped outside of like I have a terrace in front of my apartment, and I was worried stepping outside on the terrace because I was afraid I would have to socialize with a neighbor. And that's when it finally clicked in my head, like, okay, this is actually a serious problem you need to work on. And that's when I decided to go to therapy. But yeah, that's gonna be another story, I guess. I don't know, maybe talk about it now, but yeah, that's why I decided to take the break from gaming. Like, I actually needed to, I guess, touch grass or something. I needed to grow up in a sense. Like, not to say like if you play games, you're childish because I still play games, but um, I needed to figure out who I was and what I was capable of, and figure out what my life would be without gaming, to then now, 5 years later or whatever, be able to come back to it and enjoy the hobby in a more healthy way. I mean, back in the day when I was at university, I used to have a lot of more free time, um, but still, even today, I bought the PS5. Like I can now I can finally say I have all of the PlayStation consoles. Like I thought I thought that the PS5 was gonna elude me. Like I'm not gonna buy this console. I'm never gaming again. But shit, I saw the BF6 release, and I was like, oh man, I wanna play. I wanna play so bad, and I wanted to play so bad that I actually bought the PS5. So that's why you're seeing some Battlefield 6 gameplay on my channel. But that's not to say I'm a big fan of the game. But that's not the point of this video, right? So let's talk about me figuring out I'm not in a healthy relationship with gaming, so to speak. I decided to go to therapy, and I remember that was like a tough decision because I don't know, I was embarrassed. Like I know what people sometimes do not. So let's clarify. People where I am from do not look at therapy in like a good way. If if you say you're going to therapy, people will probably think like there's something seriously wrong with you. But I actually I never let it affect me in that way. Like I wore it like if you wear it as a shield of armor, it can never be used to hurt you. I believe that's a Tyrion quote from Game of Thrones. Probably butchered it, but you get the point. So yeah, I started going to therapy, and I remember after a while, I started feeling better. I figured out that in order to like improve and deal with the problem, I had to do like exposure therapy. So I didn't do it all super fast and expose myself completely to everything. I did a bit by bit, like how I was comfortable doing it. I would go out with friends, go around more and more people when I go out and stuff. And eventually I figured out like, okay, so this is the way, this is how I have to do this. But there's no hurry. Like, yeah, maybe if I do it faster, go out more and stuff, I would let's say heal faster from it or learn to live with it faster. But that's not my style in life in general. So I did my way, I did slowly. And after a few months, I was like, okay, um, this is working, and it was getting harder and harder. Like you have to expose yourself more and more in different ways to get the same benefits that you used to get. Like it's like the same with the gym. Like when you're a noob and when you start out, it's super easy to get gains, but then after a while, you have to start like seriously thinking about what you're doing in the gym to reap the benefits, right? So after a while, I decided, okay, it was the time to get a job where I would be around people, talking to many people, and not just the same people over and over, like different new people all the time. So I started working as a bellboy in a hotel, and that was the first like actual turning point where I figured out, okay, so this is what I need to do now, and that helped me tremendously. And then started going out more and just building a more positive outlook in your head about socializing and stuff. I was all doom and gloom in my head, and that needed to be fixed. I mean, maybe that sounds a bit harsh, but at least from my perspective, it needed to be like changed completely. I needed to do some serious I don't know how you say, like overhaul of my thoughts, my brain. But yeah, after a while, I started thinking more positively about everything, and I learned how to not be so anxious about going outside, being around people, and to the point now where I don't mind meeting new people, right? This is, I see it as a positive thing. You never know what you can learn from someone new and what they can say, because you have to remember you don't know everything, and you have to look at each person as someone who can maybe teach you something. And once I adopted that mindset, like something flipped. So yeah, that's the principle now that I live by. And yeah, after the bellboy job, uh, during that time I was still playing games, right? So went to therapy. I did all this exposure therapy and stuff. Got better, and after a while I realized like gaming was hindering me, because I'd play games from morning till dark sometimes, and that was no bueno, right? That was not good for me. I needed to figure out who I was outside of gaming, and that's when I finally decided. Like, I sold the PS4 I had, and I put my PC in the storage, and I haven't looked back for 5 years once I did that. And yeah, from then till now, I changed a lot. I've learned how I got many more good habits in life, which is I'm happy I did that. That's really, really good. Like gaming is great. Like it's good, like an escape, like a fun hobby you can do when you want to forget about your life and stuff. But other than that, if it's all you do, I don't think it's very healthy. I don't think it's very healthy at all. So sold the PS4, put the PC in storage, and then started figuring out the gym, reading more books. I remember once I stopped playing games, reading books like was a big hobby at first, and then I realized, okay, I'm stagnating now with my like social anxiety stuff, and I want to improve. And that's when the final, like the big test for me. I mean, this is gonna sound weird for someone extroverted, but for me, this was like a big test. I decided to go on Erasmus. Now, for the people who don't know what this is, in Europe, in the European Union to be specific, um, we have this thing in university called Erasmus, where you can go to another country. You have to like um, submit for this, and you have to be eligible for it. But if they approve it, you can go to another country to study. Now, there's varying amounts of time you can do this for. I, of course, was scared as shit, so I decided to do it for the least amount of time, which was 3 months. I think that's the least amount of time you can do it. But yeah, 3 months in another country, in another city, away from anyone I knew. Um, and I decided, okay, this was the big test. If I can do this, I'm finally healed. Like, I can do this. I proved to myself I can do this. I am healed from this bullshit, and I can live my life. So I did. I went, and I had a great time. It was one of the best experiences I have ever had in my entire life. And if you are in Europe and you have the option to go on Erasmus, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. I cannot recommend this enough. This is a great opportunity for you to grow as a person, and to figure out who you are. And that's basically what I realized in life, is all you need to do is get that life XP. All you need to do is play the game of life, build up your character in a good way. Like, when I say character, I mean your yourself, right? Um, because what I learned is, if I live through a situation and I see how I deal with it, next time when I'm in the same or a similar situation, I'm not gonna be in panic thinking about, oh shit, what do I do now? I'm gonna be thinking, either I've done this before and I can do this again, or I'm thinking, I've been through worse, this is nothing to me, right? That's the big lesson from this video, I guess. Level up in real life, live your life and enjoy it. And that's it. Don't be like I was, stuck at home playing video games. not growing at all, not figuring anything out, not living a healthier lifestyle, figuring out nutrition, figuring out working out, figuring out how to socialize, how to meet new people, how to have great experiences in life and stuff like that. That's all part of being a human being, and in my opinion, my humble but unprofessional opinion, but a well-meaning opinion, I think everyone should level up themselves. So yeah, um, and then just to clarify, I didn't quit gaming because gaming was bad. I quit gaming because my relationship with it was bad. Because gaming in itself is not bad, really. It's actually a great hobby, and now I can enjoy it once I've grown a bit, once I've figured stuff out, who I am, what I want to do, and stuff like. I mean, I still haven't figured out everything, but the gist of what kind of person I am, now I can enjoy gaming in a healthy way, and with all the other other responsibilities I have in life, now I don't even have that much time to play. So every time I do play, I enjoy it even more because I know that my time is limited. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If there is anybody watching, I hope this video resonated with you and that you learned something from it. And if you're watching this and enjoying it, please hit the like button, press subscribe, and keep tuning in for more. And please leave a comment about your experiences. If you had a problem with gaming, if you have anxiety, if you had anxiety, leave a comment, start a discussion. But yeah, peace.